What up guys, what up guys, what up guys? It is Ian Tubbs here coming to you guys right now with another video. Welcome to Black History Month. Alright, but before we go into all of the things that I wanted to talk about, I said that I wanted to spend time coaching and motivating all the aspiring black entrepreneurs. But before I can do that, I just need you to repeat after me and say this. I am black and I am beautiful. There is nothing wrong with my skin. There is nothing wrong with my hair. There is nothing wrong with my eyes. There is nothing wrong with my bone structure. My black is beautiful. Now do me a favor and just say period. Yeah, you gotta say with the D and the T, you know what I'm saying? Amen. So we're gonna go into this, but before we get into today's lesson, I need you to come into this right now with an open mind. And for the next couple of minutes, I'm gonna need you to do me a favor and forget everything up to this point that you were ever taught about your skin being a limitation on your life. Let's begin. So this video, I just had this title come to my mind probably like a week or so ago. Probably about a week ago. The title of this video is called Bridge the Gap. I really want to dig into this from a standpoint that I am very much used to. One thing about me is that I love studying history. I'll study history about a lot of different things. One thing that I also look at is history of the ancient world. You know, Israel, places like that. If you know history of Israel, you know Israel had a lot of enemies. Places like Moab were enemies of Israel. Places like Samaria were enemies of Israel. Places like Canaan were enemies of Israel. Israel had enemies. But look back, every place that I just named who was an enemy of Israel ended up having the same opportunities as Israel. Watch this. If you know the Bible, you've heard of these certain people. You've heard of Rahab, Ruth, the woman at the well. Rahab was a Canaanite. Ruth was from Moab. And the woman at the well was from Samaria. Now, Rahab and Ruth, they were from enemy nations, but they ended up being placed in the lineage of Jesus Christ. And the woman at the well learned that she had the same opportunity to receive Jesus Christ. Places that were once enemies soon had the same opportunity. If you know the Bible, you know Jesus comes to the world, Jesus dies on the cross, Jesus rises from the dead, and now every last one of those nations had the same opportunity. Why am I talking about equal opportunities? The reason that I'm talking about equal opportunities is because for so long, a lot of us black people have been told that your skin color is a limitation, that your skin color is this thing that says that you can go this far and no more. Because a lot of us have been miseducated. A lot of us have had this idea that has been placed into our head and we've been living under it for way too long. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's time to break that glass ceiling. You don't need to wait around for somebody to open a door for you, because that door is waiting for you to open it. Your biggest enemy is not a person. Your biggest enemy, my biggest enemy, our biggest enemy is our minds. Your mind is one of the strongest muscles in your whole body. Your mind is one of the most valuable parts of your body. That mind can either be your biggest cheerleader or your biggest enemy. But the thing is that your mind is your servant and not your master. You will not be a slave to your own mind, black people. And the only one that can ever stop you from moving forward is you. I don't care what society says. It is time for you to look them dead in the eye and tell them I am not your victim. Let me tell you about my story. People who have known me growing up and people who have known me throughout the years, people have known that I am a musician. Music is like, it's in me. It's a part of my identity. It's who I am. It's one of the ways I express myself, and it's one of the ways that I just release my creativity. When I was 19 years old, I released my very first album. I didn't have the best studio gear, but I used what I had. This was 2018. I released my very first album, and for those who know me, know that the album is called No More Chains. I didn't have the best stuff, but I made some pretty nice money off of it. Yes, here and there, I did work part-time jobs that I could not stand. One point, I was working at a music retail shop, and the other time, I was working at Chili's. But both of those places, I knew that those were not the end goals for my life. I knew that because whenever I would come home from work, especially working at the music retail shop, I would work on music. I was working on what I knew was going to push me forward. If you want to grow, you cannot waste time listening to other people. You have to push. One of the biggest things that I learned is that nobody owes me anything, but who I owe me. I owe myself. I owe the future generations that are coming through me, and I don't have a second to waste listening for people to tell me that my skin color is a limitation. Let me tell you something. My black is beautiful. There is not one flaw about your skin color. You are black because you were meant to be that way. If you were meant to be anything else, you would have been anything else. But you were not. You are black and you were meant to be that way. You are a trailblazer. You are not the victim, you are the trendsetter. You are strong. Black people have that history of being resilient. We don't have time to be waiting around for people to hand us opportunities. We have the opportunities. I have always been an entrepreneur. I've always had ideas of success, always. You see this right behind me? This painting right here? I designed that. And believe it or not, that's the second version of that painting that I've made because I sold the first version. After I left my first job as a music retail person, and when I talk about that original piece, after I left that job, I started doing art shows. And my very first art show, I sold that piece. See that? Try to get this to focus a little. Yeah, there you go. I sold both of those paintings and I made additional versions of those. And in 2 days, made more money than I did in 2 weeks working at that music retail store. Nobody in my family, none of us have been stopped from creating. None of us have been stopped from becoming successful. Me and my brother, we've always been entrepreneurs. We've always done our own thing. Everybody in my family. When I was growing up, I didn't have to worry about anything, but neither will you. I mentioned that just now because you don't need my opportunities. You don't need what I had. What you have is good enough. What you have is beautiful. You don't need my opportunities. You have the same opportunities as anyone else. Let me show you something. You can see I'm kind of looking down right now because I'm trying to find something for you guys. I don't know if you can really see this well. Yep, there you go. One of the most successful art shows that I've done was out in Perrysburg, Ohio. Levis Commons. This guy, in his hand, he's holding one of my paintings, and on the side of him, that statue, that's a statue that my parents made. All of us are artists, except my brother. He's on the marketing side. That painting, I remember, that man owns his own law firm. We even went to his building and he asked me, where do I think that painting should be hung up at? We didn't wait for anybody to give us an opportunity. We went, we found the opportunities. And when you seize opportunities, things happen. You don't need my opportunities, and for so long you've been told that you can't really do much, that somebody else has a better chance of receiving something than you do. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is not true. You have a gift in you. You don't need my gifts. My gifts are meant for me. You have your own gifts. It might not be music, it might not be painting, it's yours. Whatever you have is meant for you, and you just gotta tap into that thing. You just got to tap into that thing. And the thing about your gift is this: nobody can take it from you. Don't let your mind be that limitation. You are strong. And we will get to that point where we will make Black history every day. We are gonna make Black history every day. It's no longer gonna be just 1 month. It's no longer only gonna be February. It's gonna be every day that we will make Black history. Now let's get started, y'all. I love y'all. All glory to King Jesus. I'll see you in the next one.